All right, I got some updates for you on some of the biggest crypto airdrops for 2024. So let's not waste any time and hop right in. And I'm going to start with the scroll airdrop. So recently, a lot of people have been spamming GitHub contributions, but not real ones, fake ones, because they saw that people got star tokens for doing simple things like correcting a typo. And so now thousands of people are starting to actually try and make GitHub contributions, just spam contributions. And there's a lot of people on Twitter that are giving tutorials and guides on this and encouraging this behavior. Look at this tweet right here, 2.8K bookmarks. And as a result of this, we've got the scroll developers posting and saying, confirming if you spam their GitHub repos, you are not going to get an airdrop. You are only wasting their time. And so if you are trying this strategy thinking that it's going to give you scroll airdrops or zk-sync airdrops or whatever other L2 you're trying to farm, I'm telling you, it's not gonna work. It might have worked in the past, but as the great Wayne Gretzky said, you have to skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it already has been. It's too late, honestly. And these projects are obviously going to weed out Sybils. They can tell the real contributions from the fake contributions, and you're going to be wasting your time and theirs if you try this strategy. All right, moving on now, let's talk about the zk-sync airdrop. So this guy right here on Twitter, Sebastian, is one of the lead people of zk-sync. And he's been posting a lot on Twitter, trying to get feedback from the community on how they should structure their airdrop. So for example, he recently posted a poll asking if people preferred sort of a standard airdrop where more or less everyone gets the same amount, or if people preferred having an airdrop with hundreds of different data points, all of which would be combined to determine how much you're gonna get. And so small things would get rewarded in small ways, but if you hit lots of those data points, then you would get a larger airdrop. And it looks like almost 80% of people responding to this poll voted for option 2. And I do think it's likely that they are going to take this feedback into consideration, especially after seeing how much backlash there was to the Starknet team after the Stark token eligibility criteria were announced last week. And so I have a suspicion that zk-sync is going to get it right. I feel like their airdrop is going to be fair, and it's going to be a lot more like Arbitrum, where people were more or less satisfied with what they got. And if you have an organic on-chain transaction history, and you've done a lot of the basic things that I have discussed on this channel and many other airdrop farmers have discussed, then you're probably going to be rewarded and be happy with what you get. So let's stay tuned for more information on this. A lot of people are saying that the snapshot for zk-sync has already occurred. I'm not sure if that's happened or not, so I'm going to continue interacting up until the date when it's actually officially announced. But one thing that I feel is almost certain is that Pudgy Penguins are going to get another W with zk-sync, because this same guy here, one of the chief people at zk-sync, is posting a lot about Pudgy Penguins. So GG if you bought one of these back when they were like a couple of ETH. All right, moving on now, let's talk again about the Starknet airdrop. Now, I'm not gonna get in depth in this, but basically one of the main Starknet devs, and this is one of the guys that people were roasting on Twitter because he was calling you an e-beggar for wanting an airdrop. Well, he has confirmed that there is actually going to be a second drop, and they're going to try to improve the criteria for that and make sure that more people are eligible. So the first allocation will not be the only allocation, but we still don't have any details on when the next drop is going to be and whether or not you still actually have an opportunity to qualify by doing transactions today. Moving on now to another Ethereum L2, Linea announced that they created a new hub to help you explore the different quests that can earn you points for the Linea airdrop. And actually, I find that this hub is quite useful. So they're calling it the Linea Voyage, even though that Intract campaign happened last year. But still, you can search here through the list of all of these different activities that you can complete. However, not all of these are incentivized with Linea experience points. Some of them are incentivized by the actual partners themselves with different raffles and rewards. So if you want to filter for ones that are going to give you points for the Linea airdrop campaign, then click on this button right here that says Get XP, and it will sort through and show you the actual quest that you can currently complete to gain more Linea XP. And it shows you in the bottom right-hand corner how many points you can get. So all of these grayed out ones are obviously completed. Currently, there's only actually one that is live right now that you can still interact with, which is the Tomo Special Resonators quest. And if you complete this, you can get 200 Linea experience points. So definitely bookmark this page and come back periodically and check to see if there's any updates, because these will help you get the Linea airdrop, 100%. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to talk about are these cluster domain names. So this is something that's put on by the Layer 0 corner, and it interacts with the Layer 0 protocol. And basically the way that it works is you bid on an omni-chain domain name, and when you bid on it, you get to choose how much you want to spend. The lower that you put, obviously there's a greater risk that someone will outbid you for the name. However, you don't necessarily need to spend a lot of money on this. So I put a couple of bids in for the minimum amount. It does cost about $50 to put in a bid. If you don't get the domain, then you get refunded, but I definitely recommend doing this on one of the L2s here, like Base or AVAX or BNB chain, because it'll be a lot cheaper. Ethereum mainnet is basically a no-go. And then if you bid on a domain name and actually win it, it becomes your omni-chain domain across multiple different blockchains, and you can even link multiple wallets to it. And of course, all of this is powered by Layer 0, so it's very possible that this could be some sort of qualifier or multiplier for that airdrop. Now, I'm not necessarily recommending you go and spend your last $50 on this. It's a little bit expensive, and if you have that money to throw at it, it's kind of a speculative bet that it might be some sort of way to increase your Layer 0 airdrop allocation. So I'm throwing it out there just so that you know it exists, but I don't think this is the most important thing to qualify for the Layer 0 airdrop. And if you only have $50, then definitely don't put it towards this. There's way better ways that you can maximize your airdrop qualifications. And then speaking of Layer 0, I posted this on Twitter the other day, but there's currently 2 votes or 2 proposals live on the Stargate DAO. So if you are already staking STG tokens, you can now go to Snapshot and vote on these proposals. One of them ends in 1 day and the other one ends in 2 days. Now, if you don't already have STG tokens and you're not already staking them, it's too late, unfortunately, because the snapshot for these has already occurred. If you want to vote in future Stargate DAO proposals, you can buy the STG token. I'm not necessarily recommending that you go out and you pour a bunch of money into getting STG tokens. However, even if you just buy 1 token, that will allow you to vote on these proposals, and it's possible that that could be some sort of multiplier or qualifier for the airdrop. I don't know how many more proposals there are going to be before the airdrop, but if you do decide to buy some STG tokens, then go over to Stargate Finance and stake them. And then also, definitely pro tip here, make sure that you buy the STG tokens on a Layer 2, like Optimism, for example, because the transaction fees are going to be super, super cheap. If you try and buy it on the Ethereum mainnet, you're going to spend way too much money buying it and staking it. And one final potential airdrop target that I wanted to talk about is the Lava network. Okay, so what this is basically an RPC endpoint, and you can actually manually change the RPC endpoint in your wallet. Now, I'm not an expert on all of this, but based on the limited amount of research that I did this morning, you're essentially changing the data provider for your wallet that helps route transaction requests to different node operators, okay? And if you change it manually in your wallet, you're not actually giving them your private key, you're not risking anything, and even if this RPC endpoint went down, you could always just switch back to the default provider in your wallet. So really, there's not a whole lot of risk to doing this, but if you do change the RPC endpoint in your wallet, then by just using your wallet normally, like you always do, you'll start earning points for this airdrop campaign from Lava. They've raised $15 million in funding, and they have an incentivized campaign on right now. So all you have to do is go to this page, connect your wallet, join the Discord, and follow them on Twitter. And then there's a little tutorial showing how to change to the Lava RPC in your wallet, and then you're good to go. You can start collecting points. So I might actually do a full tutorial on this, but if you want to get a jump start on that, I'll throw links to all this stuff down below. And I think this could be an interesting one because there's so far, at least as far as I know, never been an incentivized RPC endpoint airdrop campaign. And really, it doesn't affect much. Once you change it in your wallet, you keep doing things the same way that you always have done. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you found these updates helpful. And as always, stay tuned for more because I got a couple of big videos coming out next week. Have a great day.